Who is the most dangerous man in the world? Vladimir Putin? Kim Jong-un? Well, I would happily add Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to that list. This is a man who has, in recent weeks, entirely disregarded the fundamental principles of a free Western democracy. Notwithstanding the absurd and draconian COVID measures that we've seen in Canada, for which a colossal economic, societal and public health price will be paid, his reaction to a peaceful demonstration has come straight out of a dictator's playbook. His behaviour has been an affront to all so-called freedom-loving democratic nations. How we got to vaccine mandates for a nasty virus, yes, but one non-fatal to the vast majority, and for a vaccine that does not stop transmission, it's anyone's guess why those mandates have been considered. There's no clear data that vaccine mandates or vaccine passports have significantly helped in stopping the spread of COVID-19. But there's plenty of evidence that they have divided society, set a dangerous precedent linking your medical status to certain freedoms and services, and they have supercharged vaccine hesitancy around the world. Well done, everyone. So truckers in Canada who face losing their job if they don't get the jab understandably descended into the capital city of Ottawa to protest. Unilateral measures like lockdowns, school closures, mask and vaccine mandates, these are not normal mechanisms by which governments are supposed to govern. This is your regular reminder on this programme that none of this is normal. And not much of it makes any sense to me either. Covering people's faces, locking healthy people up, keeping them at home, stopping them from going out and making a living, jabbing people against their will, which is effectively what happens if you threaten their job. These are all ideas alien to any free and democratic nation. In fact, they have direct echoes with the Chinese Communist Party, an evil regime which looks set to eventually dominate the world if they don't already. Thanks, in part, to the pathetic cultural, political, diplomatic, strategic, economic and military surrender of the West. A crisis reveals who you are and it reveals your values. The handling of the truckers' demonstration has unmasked the blackface-loving Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, I won't show you the blackface photos of this man in his youth. They are too offensive. This appalling woke hypocrite whose father was Prime Minister decades before him, is that healthy or normal in a democracy? Your dad was PM? This is a man who has simply attacked and lied about these truckers with outrageous accusations. These truckers, from all backgrounds, races and religions, are hard-working, honest people who are doubtless going through emotional and financial hell as they sit in their freezing cabs in the capital. Trudeau called them racists and misogynists. He likened them to terrorists, except they're not terrorists, Mr. Trudeau. They are your citizens. They are Canadians. Disgracefully, he sparked even more outrage on Wednesday in the Canadian House of Commons when he accused a Jewish Conservative Party member of supporting people who wave swastikas. Appalling. It seems to be a policy now of no more Mr. Nice Guy, from a politician many characterise as a Disney prince. Well, he is a beauty, I'll give you that, but he is a beast as well. This grinning autocrat is using emergency powers to get these protesters off the streets. He can freeze bank accounts of those whose opinions he doesn't like, and is even threatening to impound pets of those involved in the blockade and potentially destroy them. He won't even assemble Parliament to verify this Emergency Measures Act. So Canada suspends democracy in order to crush voices of dissent. Well done, everyone. I won't take lectures from world leaders talking about the threat of Putin and others, who we are told are a threat to Western values and democracy. Not with a prize numpty at the heart of one of our great democracies, the beautiful country of Canada, going into full dictator mode. So many countries have succumbed to zero COVID hysteria in the course of this pandemic, and I'm not sure they will ever fully recover. Australia, another amazing country, is now effectively a police state, New Zealand, led by the Kiwi Mussolini herself, Jacinda Ardern. And now Canada, the latest great Western nation to fall into quasi-totalitarian rule. What's happening on the border to Ukraine is bloody scary and a huge cause for concern. But so is the cleansing of COVID non-believers from the streets of Ottawa. The fight the truckers are having is a global one. We all have a stake in them succeeding. What the truckers are doing is a test case for freedom across the world. If they don't prevail, we will all slowly trundle into this hellish new normal from which there will be no reverse gear. Disgracefully, no Western leader, including our own Prime Minister, has spoken out about this egregious assault on democracy currently happening in Canada and the treatment of its citizens. If this was happening in China or Russia, they would be spitting feathers, or indeed, if it was happening in Trump's America. But not a squeak of criticism for Trudeau, because he is part of the cosy COVID consensus. So it falls to me to call out this seductively handsome politician who has revealed a truly ugly side. Justin Trudeau is nothing more than a Poundshop Putin, and he's got to go.